Negative, K, nothing further, just kitty camping in the corner.
رادیو پلیس همراه با مصطفی سفری، افسر پلیس تورنتو. برنامه‌ای از رادیو آرینا.
با عرض سلام خدمت شما شنوندگان عزیز، من مصطفی سفری هستم. با برنامه رادیو پلیس در خدمت شما هستیم دوستان. برنامه زنده رادیو پلیس که هر سه شنبه ها ساعت 4 بعد از ظهر از شبکه آرینا پخش میشه. شاید شما این برنامه رو به صورت ضبط شده از طریق فیسبوک دارید نگاه میکنید، یا شاید هم همین الان دارید به صورت زنده این برنامه رو تماشا میکنید و گوش میدید. ما امروز برنامه ویژه‌ای داریم. برنامه ویژه‌ای داریم در رابطه با استخدام شدن در نیروهای پلیس در رسته‌ها و قسمت‌های مختلف. ما امروز در خدمت خانم سارجنت ویندی درمون هستیم که قسمت‌های عمده این برنامه رو به زبان انگلیسی اجرا می‌کنیم که هم شما به هر حال باید با زبان انگلیسی آشنا باشید که می‌خواید با خودتون رو با تورنتو پلیس و شرایطش آشنا بکنید و هم این که همکار منم بتونن متوجه بشن. So we have a special edition today with regards to the employment unit and how we can get job with Toronto Police. And welcome my guest, Sergeant Wendy Drummond. Sergeant, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to come to Arina, and which is our the best radio show the best radio program that we have. So, thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I was more than thrilled when you invited me.
Thank you so much. So, can you tell me a little bit more about yourself, Sergeant? What do you do? What is your position? And what are we going to be talking about today?
Yeah, I've got 26 years on the job. 2 years I spent actually as a civilian. I got hired on as a dispatcher. I finished my university education, always knew I wanted to be a police officer, but unfortunately the service wasn't hiring, and I had the opportunity to become a dispatcher. So that's what I did, and I did that for about 2 years, and then the hiring moratorium was lifted, and I put my application in to become a police officer on the uniform side, and my journey starts from there. I got hired, I went to 14 Division to start, which is right down in the heart of the city. From there, I went to 32 Division, and that's where I had the pleasure of working with you.
Thank you.
And from there, I went to our corporate communications, and I did a lot of the media relations and liaise between the police and the media. And from there, I got promoted. I got promoted to sergeant, rank sergeant.
Sergeant, yes.
Yep, I went to 13 Division. I was a road sergeant there. And then from there, I went back to our corporate communication services, dispatch center, but in a different role and in a uniform capacity there. And from there, I went to strategic planning. And then from there, I went to what we now call talent acquisition, used to be employment unit. So, I mean, just going through and talking about all those different things, it really highlights our motto: one career, many opportunities.
Right. So that's a good thing with this job, that we can navigate in different positions that we like. And I'm a detective constable. I've been doing that for almost 3 years. And then when I finish that, probably I'm going to go back and do something else. Mm-hmm. And this is the beauty of working with Toronto Police. But something that I would like other people to listen to that, and other people that I like them to know, that Toronto Police is not only hiring police officers.
That's right.
So you yourself, you started your career as a civilian. What civilian means?
Civilian is a non-sworn position. So when you become a police officer, you're a sworn officer. You're clearly your uniform, your powers and authorities are given to you. A civilian is still, it's an essential part of policing. It really is. Without all the different roles that a civilians occupy and do for us, we wouldn't be able to do half the things we do without them. So regardless if it's a uniform position or a civilian role, each of your positions, each of the roles that we have are integral to keeping Toronto safe.
if you allow me, I'm just going to explain that in Farsi, just to make sure that everybody understand we are on the same page. دوستان در مورد شغل‌ها و سمت‌های مختلف در پلیس تورنتو صحبت می‌کنیم. خانم سارجنت ویندی جرمان توضیح میدن که قبلا خودشون به عنوان سیویلیان پوزیشن یعنی کارمند پلیس تورنتو بودن، بعداً تقاضا کردند و رفتن به قسمت پلیس و یونیفرم داشتن و قسم خورده شدن و اینها فرقش هستش. یعنی ما همین الان مثلا به عنوان دیسپچر یا کسی که تلفن‌ها رو جواب میده، پاسخگوی تلفن 911، اینها استخدام هایی داریم ما و ایشون هم شغلش رو از همونجا شروع کرده. Sarge, what other position do we have as a civilian? Let's say I have a cousin, he studied as an IT man. Mm-hmm. Do we think that we have a job opportunity for this type of people?
We do. We have, so IT, like you mentioned, we have human resources, we have technicians, we have fleet management for our vehicles, auto repair, we have business intelligence, we have strategy, human resources, we have diversity and inclusion, we have our dispatchers, we have telecom. I was trying to think of all the different things that we have. It's incredible. That's just to name a few off the top of my head. There's really every kind of aspect that you could think of is going to be a potential career opportunity within the service.
I noticed we are even hiring nurses.
We are, absolutely. Right now with COVID, our wellness unit is an integral part of our service and our wellness for our members. And we even have nurses.
This is fantastic. دوستان همینجور که توضیح دادن همکار ما رده های مختلف استخدام میکنیم. همین الان به عنوان پرستار مثلا ما استخدام میکنیم کسانی هستن. شما افسر پلیس نخواهید بود. شما به عنوان یک پرستار برای پلیس تورنتو کار میکنید. به عنوان حسابدار برای پلیس تورنتو کار میکنید. به عنوان یک مکانیک میتونید برای پلیس تورنتو کار بکنید. چون وقتی که اسم پلیس تورنتو میاد همه احساس میکنن که خب شما باید مثلا شخص من افسر پلیس داشتید، اسلحه داشته باشید، این آموزش ها رو ببینید و توی خیابون کار بکنید. نه، ولی ما قسمت های مختلفی هم داریم. Sarge, let's say I'm interested in applying as an IT or the purchase manager. So what is my first step that I have to take?
For any of the positions that we have, first you have to find out if we're hiring for that position, that role. So the first thing to do is...
And how do we do that?
Right. So the first thing to do would be visit our website, tps.on.ca/careers. Or if you just go on the website, tps.on.ca, you'll see a tab there that says career opportunities. Go on there, click into and read about all the different things on our website. And then there is a careers opportunity, which you open that up and it will show you all the actual positions that we are hiring for right now. When you click on those different roles, it'll tell you what we're looking for, what experience you're going to have to require in order to be eligible, what the requisitions are, and it'll tell you how to proceed in further applying.
So tps.on.ca, the director of the program is going to put it underneath of our screen that people that are watching this program, instead of listening, they can actually take a look at it and go on their own to that website. So just back in Farsi, شما به این وبسایت دوستان باید مراجعه بکنید. ما همیشه این شغل‌ها رو در دسترس نداریم. شما باید چک بکنید، مطمئن باشید که این شغل‌ها الان مثلا در حال حاضر دارن استخدام میکنن، چون اینها یه زمانهای کوتاهی داره که مثلا در عرض 20 روز این شغل‌ها میاد و میره و شما وقتی که یه شغلی رو میخواید داشته باشید و میخواید اپلای بکنید، باید این شغل رو ببینید که بهتون میخوره، به پوزیشن شما میخوره، کوالیفیکیشن و اون قابلیت هاشو دارید که بخواید از طریق این وبسایت عمل بکنید. So what's going on with the COVID-19 during this COVID-19? How we operate? I'm pretty sure that is not the same as it used to be, but how do we accommodate that and facilitate that?
Yeah, you said it. It's not as things used to be, but we have, we've had to be take the initiative and find different ways to do things, which we definitely have. We've been able to put some of our pre-screening and pre-testing online, which is something that has allowed us to be able to continue our process safely, and allow our candidates to do so safely from the comfort of their own home. So we've done that. We've been able to communicate more effectively in some areas over WebEx. We've been meeting with candidates, mentoring them, encouraging them, talking about different things that they can do to make themselves a more competitive candidate during this period of we're not actually accepting applications right now for the uniform position, but we continue to encourage people to take this time as an opportunity to prepare themselves, to make themselves more competitive. So we're continuing to outreach, we're continuing to work with the different and various communities and highlighting the different things that they can do now to make themselves and put themselves in a better position when we begin to take applications for the uniform position. Part of the process is you do have to do in person, but again, we're taking all the precautions, ensuring the distance, ensuring our PPE wear, that type of thing. But we do miss the interaction. We
That's
really
for
miss, we were talking about it earlier. And we would have our Friday sessions and we'd get people prepared to do the physical portion of the testing. And we can't do that anymore. So we miss it. I know our candidates miss it. We're looking forward to the day we can resume that. But in the meantime, we're doing everything that we can to keep the process going and keep everybody safe and, really find those candidates to serve our community the best.
So it would be fair to say that nothing is like what we had in the past, but it's still we are operating and we are moving forward.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of people in Farsi-speaking community that they like to be a police officer. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me what is the general requirement to apply?
So there are some minimum requirements, and again, all this information is on the website. So there's more than what I can reiterate here. So make sure you do visit the website. But essentially, 18 for a police officer, Canadian citizen or permanent resident.
18 years of the age. Okay.
Yep. Permanent resident or Canadian citizenship. We look for volunteer work. So we really want somebody who's invested in the community and who gives back to the community. We're looking at any additional education. Okay, that's something that's going to be valuable. It's not a prerequisite, but it's something that we do look for. We look for good driving record, right? For the most part, your office as a police officer is in the car, right? You're out in the community all the time. So your driving record and driving habits are something that are valuable to us in ensuring you have a good driving record.
I'm just going to reiterate it in Farsi. دوستان شرایط پلیس شدن شرایط مختلفی هستش. یه شرایط عمومی داره یه شرایط خصوصی. طبق شرایط عمومیش اولین چیزی که شما باید داشته باشید این که باید اقامت کشور کانادا رو باید داشته باشید، اقامت رسمی، اجازه کار باید داشته باشید و حداقل سن شما باید 18 باشه. What is the maximum age?
No maximum age.
No.
If you can get through the hiring process in terms of all the interviews, the physical requirements, everything else that goes on, if you can pass all of those.
That is very surprising to a lot of people because many countries, they have a maximum age to apply as a police officer. ما حد اکثر سن نداریم به خاطر اینکه جزء منشور حقوق بشر ما هستش که نمیتونیم به خاطر سن کسی رو تبعیض قائل بشیم واسش. تا زمانی که شما بتونید این امتحان ها و این تست ها رو شما پشت سر بذارید و هر سنی که باشید فرقی نمیکنه 40-50 شما میتونید که اپلای بکنید و تقاضا بکنید و خودتون رو وارد سیستم بکنید. رقابت سنگین هستش دوستان. So I know we are in the city, in the society that a lot of people speak English as a second language. Myself, what is the level of language that we are looking into become a police officer?
So we do value additional languages outside of English for sure. With being such a diverse city and multicultural, and the number of different communities that we work in partnership with, a second language is something very much valued. However, English must be a language that is communicated and able to understand and communicate at a fairly high level.
Just going to reiterate that in فارسی دوستان یکی از شرایط اصلی پلیس شدن اینه که زبان انگلیسیتون باید در سطح خیلی بالایی باشه. یعنی چون زبان قانون هستش، زبان سختیه، باید زبانتون بسیار بسیار قوی باشه. من یه موقع‌هایی برای من پیغام به زبان فارسی میدن و میخوان افسر پلیس بشن، چقدر که بهتره که شما از همین الان شروع بکنید و روی زبانتون کار بکنید. شما تلفن 647 847 3455 شما تلفن مستقیم برنامه ما هستش. شما هم میتونید تماس بگیرید. این برنامه چون ویژه کارمندی و استخدام شدن در نیروهای پلیس هستش، من ازتون خواهش میکنم که تمرکز سوالاتتون رو در روی این مسئله بذارید، چون مهمان گرامی ما داریم در برنامه خانم سارجنت وینی جرمون که از ایمپلویمنت یونیت یا کارگزینی تورنتو پلیس اینجا تشریف دارن، دعوت ما قبول کردن که سوالات تخصصی شما رو در این زمینه پاسخ بدن. من خیلی خوشحال میشم که وقتی که تماس میگیرید سوالاتتون به زبان انگلیسی باشه که من نیاز نباشه ترجمه بکنم و قاعدتا اگه شما میخواید در پلیس تورنتو استخدام بشید تو قطعا باید زبان انگلیسیتون بسیار بسیار بالا باشه و مطرح کردن سوالتون به زبان انگلیسی نمونه ای از این روند شما هستش که بخواید استخدام بشید. So Sarge, what other recommendation that would you give to people that they want to be a police officer? So volunteer is one thing, so they have, it's very good if they do some volunteer job. They have to have a good driving record. And what other things that you are, because that is a long-term process, right? It's not like something that you get up in the morning and you decide to work for such a company and you put your application. Maybe you're going to get, interview next week, but become a police officer, I'm talking about my own experience, is a long-term commitment and is a long-term effort. So what other things that would you recommend to applicants?
It is, absolutely. And the hiring process itself is a lengthy process. So and that's why we say we encourage people to take this opportunity now to prepare. So the other things that you can be doing, again, additional education is something that we value. It's highly recommended and something that we do look at. Any type of training in terms of mental health awareness. Okay, mental health is something that, as a police officer, we're dealing with on a daily basis, and it's having that additional awareness and knowledge about mental health and mental awareness is going to be beneficial. Any type of conflict resolution, communication skills, effective presentation. Being a police officer is a very people-oriented profession. We're dealing with people every day. That's what we do. And if we have effective communication and we're able to get our point across, be able to receive information and build rapport with people in communities, that's going to be a benefit to have additional communication skills and presentation skills. So that's another area which I recommend. If you're looking for something to build yourself and better yourself, reflect and grow, that would be an area that I would recommend as well.
So let's say there is a gentleman, he works in customer service in IBM. So do you think that he has a chance to become a police officer?
That's what we do. We are we deal with, like I said, we deal with people on a regular basis. That's what we do. It is customer service. So conflict resolution, when you're in customer service, many times your task, your duty, what's being presented to you is potentially a disgruntled customer. So how do you resolve that peacefully? How do you find a solution and ensure that everybody is happy with that? So absolutely, it's a transferable skill.
That is correct. Just going to reiterate it in فارسی. دوستان شغل‌های مختلفی که شما همین الان دارید میتونید بعداً به نحوی خودتون رو با آشنا بکنید و یواش یواش مسیر زندگیتون رو به پلیس وفق بدید، حتی اگه مثلا در کاستومر سرویس کار میکنید. So we have some people they like to ask questions, Serge. We have Sheba. She is talking about and she's asking about the connection between criminology and how to become a police officer. Yes, Sheba, you're on the line. Thank you for calling.
No problem. Good evening to you and the surgeon. I have a question. I have a grade 12 son. It's been about few years. He wants to be a police officer. He wants to get the criminology at York University and to become a police officer after he finishes his bachelor. He wants to be a detective. I have a question. How it's important to finish that bachelor, and is it necessary, or he can apply and fill the application and be a police officer? And he born here. English is okay. So that's the question. And is it important for continue for master or something? I just want to know the education is important to become a police officer, and even in continuing for the surgeon and above and above and above.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to know.
Thank you so much, Sheba. I appreciate that. We're going to answer your question through the radio. Thank you for a call.
Thank you.
So a lot of people, they're asking what type of education that I have to pursue in a university or in the college in order to have a better chance and upper hand when I want to apply in Toronto Police.
So first of all, before I even answer that, I want to thank Sheba for supporting your son and wanting to become a police officer. Having support from friends and family is a critical component of somebody becoming a police officer and being successful. So I want to thank you very much for supporting them on that. In terms of the education, and it is a question that we get all the time, what should I take? Do I have to take policing foundations? Do I have to take something related to policing? The answer is no. So yes, post-secondary education or any additional education is recommended. My suggestion and what I tell people is, if you're going to be going to school, you're doing your post-secondary, it's expensive. Take something that you enjoy, that you're going to learn from, and do well. And like I said,
whatever
it is, whatever the topic, it does not have to be police related. As you talked about customer service and
IT.
Is there IT? There are so many different aspects in policing that your skills that you learn are transferable.
Right.
And the different things, when you go to school, yes, you're learning the material and the topic, but there's so many other things that you're learning. You're learning time management. You're learning how to research. You're learning how to present, because most cases you're in a course you're doing the presentations. There's so many different things, stress management. All those things roll up and are a result, a byproduct of education.
Right.
And when you come in and you are part of the process, we're going to be looking at your marks. When you go through the process and you're hired, there's several weeks of academic learning and training. We need to have something, an indication that's going to allow us to know, are you going to be successful in our training when you go off to police college? There's a lot of information that's coming at you that has to be learned and retained in a very short period of time. Do you have that capacity to do that? So if you're taking a subject that you're not interested in, you really don't want to be doing, and you're not doing well, what does that tell us when you're in an interview and we're looking at your grade point average and it's poor? Right. So take something that you're interested in and do well.
Okay. if you allow me, I'm going to repeat this message for the parents because so now we're talking to the parents, and parents might have a different level of language of English. So دوستان خانم سارجنت در مورد تحصیلات بچه هاتون صحبت کردن که چه رشته های انتخابی در دانشگاه داشته باشن که بتونن راحت‌تر پلیس بشن. مهم این هستش که هر رشته‌ای که میخوان انتخاب بکنن شاید برای ما خیلی تفاوت نداشته باشه. مهم اینه که اون رشته رو دوست داشته باشن در دانشگاه. حالا روانشناسی هستش، کرمینولوژی هستش، آیتی هستش، کاستومر سرویس هستش، کامپیوتر هستش. و وقتی که اونو تمام میکنن بعد دوباره خب طبیعتا باید بیان مراحل اپلیکیشن رو انجام بدن و ما اینها رو همه رو در نظر میگیریم، زیر نظر میگیریم، ریز نمرات این افراد رو در نظر میگیریم. و یه مسئله دیگه ای که من میخوام توضیح بدم اینه که تشویق بکنید که بچه هاتون رو پلیس بشن. نه به این خاطر که من افسر پلیس هستم، شغلی هستش که واقعا هم درآمدش خوبه، هم احترام خاصی در جامعه ما داره. خب خیلی ما از کشورهای دیگه اومدیم و شاید در اون کشورها پلیس این احترام رو نداشته، ولی ما این احترام رو داریم در این کشور. و وقتی که شما بچه هاتون تشویق میکنید که افسر پلیس بشن یا به پلیس بخوام بپیوندن، شما در واقع بچه هاتون رو دارید تشویق میکنید که به قانون احترام بذارن و این میتونه خیلی مهم باشه. Sarge, can we talk about the volunteer, because we got Tina. She wants to talk and she wants to ask about the being a volunteer in Toronto Police. Yes, Tina, you want to be a volunteer with Toronto Police?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
What type of volunteer job do you want to do, Tina?
So in the future, I'm just gonna go to the that process about post foundation in college. So now I'm working in cashier and food basics. I'm gonna just change my work to something for policing for my future. I heard that's good for me in future, but I don't care about the section because I want to be a police officer, you know.
So you want to be a uniform police officer, and you want to know what option do you have to work as a volunteer. So that is a great question. I appreciate for your call. Sergeant Drummond is going to answer your question. Do you have any question from Tina before we let her go?
Well, you know what, Tina, call me, send me an email, and I'd love to speak with you and provide you with some more insight and how to get yourself prepared. So wendy.drummond@torontopolice.on.ca. I look forward to you emailing me, and we'll set something up. In terms of the volunteering...
Okay, sorry, Tina. Can you please listen to this answer over the radio?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
So
much.
I'm going to repeat the email again, and you can get a hold of Sergeant over the email, and you can be in touch with her.
All right. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Excellent. So volunteer work. The Toronto Police Service has an incredible auxiliary program. It's we couldn't do a lot of the things without our volunteers. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we're not accepting applications for our volunteer auxiliary program right now.
At this right time, but we might have it in the future. Opening.
Yes, absolutely. The volunteering is, you can get so involved in our community events that, it's a fantastic opportunity for those that want to become a police officer or don't. They just want to be involved and give back. But it's a great opportunity to get up close, learn, find out what we do, and while you're preparing to become a police officer.
So, sorry, I was just going to reiterate what you just mentioned. That so we have a volunteer position in Toronto Police, and we call them auxiliary.
That's right.
Okay, and do they have a uniform?
They have a uniform. Yep.
Do they have a gun?
No.
They don't have a gun.
No gun.
Okay. So just for your information, for listener, we do have a position as an auxiliary. We call it auxiliary, is not a volunteer. We call it auxiliary. So these auxiliary officers, they get training by us. We train them. And after that, they work in some sections that is not the same responsibility as a police officer. But however, they can even sit in the police car. They do so many things. There are so many cool things. And they get familiarized themselves with the police job. And also, I want to mention Sergeant's email address, which is 89081 at tps.ca. 89081 at tps.ca. The director is going to put it underneath of the program, and people, they can take a note of this email address, and they can email Sergeant Drummond directly, and she's going to direct you if you have any question. She is great, and she works in employment unit or talent acquisition, that we call, and she has opportunity to interact with all applicants or people they want to be a police officer in the future. So we encourage everybody, and especially ladies. So we encouraging ladies to become a police officer.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is one of our targets, is to increase the number of women that we hire within the Toronto Police Service. So absolutely. And just on that, before I don't want to continue on and forget about this, one of the first steps, thinking about becoming a police officer, kind of always wondered about it but wasn't quite sure. We hold general information sessions. Okay. We used to do them in person, but now they're via WebEx. But we're actually holding one tomorrow at 11 a.m. So again, if you go on our website and under the career opportunities, you will see an icon which is current events, upcoming events. And if you click on there, you have to sign up for it and register for it. But you sign up through there, and it'll be tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll send you the link, and it's a general information session. It'll go through everything from the hiring process from start to finish, things you need to do, things you need to obtain, certificates before you can even send in your application.
So when is that information session?
So that information session is tomorrow at 11.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Tomorrow, which is going to be Wednesday?
Wednesday the 21st.
21st.
At 11 a.m.
At 11 a.m.
Yep.
So everybody can be participating?
Anybody can participate in that, but again, you have to register. So
you have to register first through our website. Okay. دوستان، ما فردا ساعت 11 صبح که روز چهارشنبه 21 ماه اکتبر میشه یک اینفورمیشن سشن داریم از طریق وبینار که شما حتما باید اول رجیستر بکنید، ثبت نام باید بکنید از طریق وبسایت ما، از طریق tps.on.ca، و وقتی که رفتید اونجا این اینفورمیشن سشن اطلاعات به شما میده، فری هستش. و can they ask question in that webinar as well?
They can.
و حتی میتونید شما سوال بکنید، سوالی داشته باشید در رابطه با اینکه چجوری بخواید افسر پلیس بشید. تمام این مراحل رو براتون یکی یکی توضیح میدم. اگر همین الان دارید رادیو گوش میدید، همین الان رادیو باز کردید، من مصطفی صفری هستم، افسر پلیس شهر تورنتو، افسر فارسی زبان هستم. برنامه ویژه‌ای داریم در رابطه با استخدام شدن در پلیس تورنتو. شماره تلفن 647 847 3455 647 847 3455. We would like to hear from you. We would like to hear your questions. Anything related that you'd like to talk to us. We're going to have a quick break, and then after that we're going to be talking about other positions such as parking enforcement. Mm-hmm. So what is parking enforcement? This is what we're going to be talking about. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just be with us. We're going to come back in a few seconds.
رادیو پلیس، برنامه‌ای از رادیو آرینا. سه‌شنبه ها ساعت 4 بعد از ظهر همراه با مصطفی صفری، افسر پلیس تورنتو. رادیو آرینا.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Sergeant Wendy Drummond from Talent Acquisition. If you have any question with regards to the hiring, if you have any question with regards to how to get a job with Toronto Police, this is a time that you can call and directly at 647-847-3455. The number is direct, and you can call probably before 5 o'clock and we can answer your questions. Before we go to the next caller, we're going to be talking about other position, which is called parking enforcement officer. Sarge, who are these people?
So parking enforcement, while they wear a uniform, they're not police officers, so they are considered a civilian employee. And again, an integral part of keeping Toronto safe. They look after the the rush hour routes, ensuring that the flow of traffic is not impeded. They assist even in major events,
Okay.
removing vehicles from the street, assisting officers if need be, locating stolen vehicles.
Do they have a gun?
No,
They don't have a gun.
They do not have a gun.
Okay.
So yeah, again, any position within the Toronto Police Service is an integral part. And parking enforcement, while some people find it very frustrating to get a ticket,
Right.
clearly they're parked somewhere that they shouldn't be, and by their actions are impeding somebody else's enjoyment of the roadway, of the bicycle lanes. That's been a huge area of enforcement. Our traffic services has a huge campaign going on now, and for public safety and pedestrian safety, and parking enforcement is a huge part of that as well.
Sorry, how about a special constable that recently we started hiring people for a special constable position?
Yes, a special constable, again, they have a uniform, but they are a civilian role. Okay, so
They're
they
not a
don't.
police officer.
They're not a police officer. They don't have the same powers and authorities. Okay. But they are doing and assisting in the daily duties that a police officer would do, and it essentially will free up a skilled, trained police officer to do other duties that require those skills and abilities. So the special constable is able to complete and do those other things, other tasks that need to be done, but maybe not necessarily by an officer that has greater skills and training to do other things.
I'm just going to take 30 seconds to explain that in Farsi, summarize it, just make sure everybody is understanding. ما دوستان پوزیشن ها و جاهای مختلفی داریم در پلیس تورنتو. شما شاید در شهر تورنتو افرادی رو دیدید، یعنی افسر پلیس نیستن ولی لباس که پوشیدن تقریبا شبیه لباس پلیس هستش. نوع یونیفرمشون فرق میکنه اگه بهشون نزدیک بشید و روی اتومبیلاشون نوشته پارکینگ انفورسمنت. اینها صرفاً مسئولیتشون دادن جریمه پارکینگ و خلاف پارکینگی هستش و کار دیگه هم میکنن، ولی افسر پلیس نیستن حتی اگه در یونیفرم هستن. اگه من بخوام به فارسی خیلی خوب براتون ترجمه کنم، تقریبا درجه دار هستن و نیروهای دیگه هستن به اسم اسپیشال کانستبل که مثلا شغلهای دیگه دارن در اداره های پلیس، باز هم اینا افسر پلیس نیستن. But these special constable and park enforcement officer, do they have an opportunity in the future become a police officer?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We have, again, one career, many opportunities, and you can go from the civilian side to the uniform side. And some people do as a bit of, they thought about being a police officer, but they really weren't sure. So they came in at a parking level position and, do the job. They see and are out in the divisions and interact with the officers and the community. And then they get that real, I want to do more. I want to be a police officer. I want to help people. I want to give back. And then they end up going through the process to become a uniform officer.
So any civilian position that they have an opportunity in the future to apply, and probably because we know them, they might have a little bit better chance to become a police officer.
Well, it's one of those things that it does take time, money, and effort to process somebody and hire somebody. So we in as much as we don't want to, and we would prevent somebody from applying, we would like those people to experience that role. If they're applying for it and they're taking that position, then take some time and do that role. Do they have a better opportunity? Well, yeah, they've worked with us. We've had knowledge of them.
Already,
we know their work ethic. So that's going to be something that clearly is going to be part of their evaluation and part of their interview. But is it a guarantee? Absolutely not.
No. Gonna explain that in Farsi. دوستان شغل‌های دیگه‌ای که هستش در پلیس تورنتو من جمله مثلا پارک انفورسمنت یا اسپیشال کانستبل، اینها پوزیشنایی هستش که به هر حال کارمند پلیس تورنتو هستن. در آینده میتونن اینها اپلای بکنن، ولی باید تمام اون مراحلی که دیگران از بیرون میان اونها هم انجام بدن. یه مقدار اولویت دارن به خاطر اینکه ما اینها رو میشناسیمشون، به هر حال برای ما کار کردن، تفاوت میکنه، ولی به هر حال باید توی اون مراحل کلی گزینش رو شرکت بکنن و موقعیت خوبی هستش. به هر حال شغل دارن زندگیشون رو میکنن و در آینده اگر آپشنی باشه میتونن استخدام بشن. در حال حاضر ما درخواست و اپلیکیشن تورنتو واسه افسر پلیس الان قبول نمی کنیم. Sarge, do we know when we're going to be accepting applications for
I
police
wish I knew.
officers?
I wish I had a date for you, but I don't. Unfortunately, we had a huge number of applications come in, and it's taken us quite some time to go through all the applications, and that's one of the reasons why we actually took down the posting, because we wanted to be able to go through everybody's application, and it wasn't fair for those people that had submitted their application for us not to get through them. When we're going to get opened again, unfortunately, I don't know, but we're doing so many things behind the scenes to, work on the process, work on getting people prepared and ready for when it does open up again. So just keep watching our website.
So watching the website, can they register and sign in, and there is any job opportunity, they're going to receive an email? Is that how it works?
Yes, there is. So when you do go on the website, you can sign up for email. So whenever a new posting is put up on the website, you'll receive an alert. But like I said, that's the uniform position right now that we're not hiring for, that there's no application. But like you said, the civilian, we have many civilian roles and some very specialized roles, and we're looking for the right people for those positions. So always check into the website and see what's going on. And for those of you that are interested in becoming a police officer or parking, or even the special constable roles, our recruiters are available all the time to talk with you and mentor you and guide you through the process.
Okay, perfect. Back in Farsi language, ما افراد آفیسرهای داریم، افسران پلیسی داریم که با خانم سارجنت ویندی درمان کار میکنن. افسران پلیسی هستن که کارشون ریکروتینگ هستش، یعنی اینکه شما میتونید باهاشون تماس بگیرید، سوال ازشون بکنید، راهنماییتون میکنن، بهتون میگن که چه مراحلی رو باید عبور بکنید. و من مجددا تاکید میکنم سطح زبان انگلیسی شما باید سطح خیلی بالایی باشه و حداقل باید شما صاحب دیپلم در آنتاریو باشید. حداقل مدرک تحصیلی هستش، ولی تحصیلات دیگه هم میتونید داشته باشید. Sarge, I've been asked this question a lot, that we see a lot of advertisement with regards to police foundation. So if I go to such a college and I study police foundation or law enforcement, after when I graduate, am I a police officer?
No. No, you're only a police officer once you graduate successfully from the Ontario Police College, and that's in London, Ontario. For Toronto, once you get that certificate, you have to come back and complete our training for another 9 weeks in order to become a Toronto Police Service officer. So no, the Policing Foundation courses, again, not recommended, or sorry, not recommended, not required.
Not required.
Not required.
But if you have it, it's an asset.
If you have it, it's an asset. Like I said, you take something that you enjoy. If you know you want to be a police officer and you're just looking, you want to get that additional education, knowledge, and all those things that go along with it, you want to learn more about it and be better prepared, then absolutely, then that's the course and direction you want to take. But is it a requirement, and is it an automatic, I'm going to get the job because I've got this? No.
No. دوستان، کالج های مختلفی هستش که شما پلیس فاندیشن میبینید دارن، یونیفرم هم دارن، تبلیغاتشون رو زیاد میبینید، شاید مثلا چندین هزار دلار هم باید بدید که برید در اون کالج. این کالج ها چیز بدی نیستش، میتونید برید شما درس بخونید، مدرک تحصیلیتون رو بگیرید، ولی وقتی که تحصیلاتتون در اون کالج ها تموم شد و شما فارغ التحصیل شدید، این به این معنا نیست که شما افسر پلیس شدید. شما زمانی افسر پلیس میشید که برای یک پلیس فورس مثلا پلیس تورنتو تقاضا بکنید، پلیس تورنتو شما استخدام بکنه. بعد از اینکه تمام مراحل رو گذروندید، وقتی که 7 خانه رستم رو تموم کردید، وقتی که پلیس تورنتو استخدامتون کرد، شما رو ما خودمون میفرستیم به Ontario Police College. Sarge, can I apply directly to Ontario Police College by myself? Can I just go to London, Ontario and say I want to be a student here?
No, no. You have to apply and be hired by a police agency.
Okay. All right. That was great, Sarge. We have a lot of other questions, and I'm pretty sure that we did not answer that. And some people that are listening, and I really appreciate that. The questions was focusing on employment unit today. So next week, I'm going to be here answering other questions that I can to my best ability. But we are at the end of program, so we got 31 seconds to the end.
That went by fast.
Yes. So what would you like to say at the end of to the Farsi-speaking community?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. And, policing is a career that offers many opportunities. I said it before, it sounds a bit of a cliche, but you really can. You can do so many different things and find your passion within the service. So if you have any questions, contact our unit. Our recruiters will be more than happy to help you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And روزتون بخیر. ایامتون بکام. Yeah, it was pretty fast. Are we live or are we done? We are live.